We're here with Shelly Chambers to talk to you today about anxiety.
Hi, Juanita.
Hi, Shelly. So tell me, can you tell us what signs to look for when we're talking about anxiety?
Anxiety could mean worry. Sometimes people with anxiety just stay too much in their head, they'll overthink. A lot of times, anxiety comes out in physical symptoms. Sometimes that could be, tummy aches, headaches, uh, tense muscles. It could be shortness of breath. Um, Usually, people say they're nervous or they're worried.
Do you often see a difference between children and adults in the symptoms of anxiety?
Yes, a lot of times with kids, there's developmental worries. So a 2-year-old might have a worry of a monster under a bed. And so sometimes worries for younger kids are more fears. And it could be, there might be, a storm outside and a limb might come to a window and they might think there's somebody trying to break into the house. And so those can normally be fairly easily, remedied by a parent checking, a window or checking under the bed. As children get older, it can become a little bit more abstract. They could worry about, is mom okay? Am I going to be okay? They might worry about disease, hurricanes. With adults, a lot of times anxiety is first picked up in a doctor's office. Somebody might go to the doctor because they have stomach issues, or they have, migraines. A lot of times we'll just kind of stuff things. We'll just go about our life and not process really what's going on or the emotional impact. And so that comes out, through, through physical symptoms. Normally anxiety is worry. It's excessive worry. And so there's a normal amount, people are supposed to worry about things. If we didn't worry at all, we might be a bunch of sociopaths, just, okay, well, I can do anything and nothing's going to happen. But when that worry becomes excessive, then it crosses over to anxiety, to something that you might need help for. And the biggest thing, with anxiety or any issue is that awareness and being able to kind of grow your own self-awareness and to be able to ask, like, okay, well, I'm really thinking a lot about this. Is this an appropriate amount, of concern for this, or does this go beyond that? Am I thinking too much about this? And so it's important to, kind of check those things out. Because sometimes, our our mind will play tricks on us. If we start to kind of obsess about something, that can grow. And so the saying, like, what we water grows, is very true. So if we focus a lot on things that aren't going well, those can grow in our brain. And we have to, in order to get that in check, either, talk to somebody about it, just be more aware. And make sure, like, okay, is this helping me or anyone else if I'm worrying about this so much?
So previously you had said that there's some level of worry that is normal.
Absolutely.
Where does that move into anxiety or a diagnosable anxiety?
Okay. Well, since we live in Wilmington, North Carolina, and we just had a hurricane scare, and we had Hurricane Florence a year ago, a typical normal worry is like, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to do to prepare my house and my family? Do I need to stay? Do I need to evacuate? Those are healthy worries to have. When that crosses over to anxiety, is if every day after the hurricane, you're worried that there's going to be another storm, that you have a hard time going to work or going to school because something bad might happen. And so if it's consuming, if after, a few months you're still every day just as keyed up as when the hurricane came through, then that's a sign that it would be a good idea to talk to someone, talk to a therapist.
How, in your experience, how does untreated anxiety impact relationships, whether it be with your spouse, your children, your parents, significant others?
Well, it takes the focus off of what's going on in the relationship and the family, and it makes that focus be on kind of what's in your head, what you're worrying about, what you're preoccupied with. And as long as you're focused on something that's not happening right there, then you're not you're not available to your family, to your spouse, to your child. And a lot of people, have a hard time, reaching out for help. They want to just kind of suck it up. But when anxiety is severe, it's really important to get help for that. To be at your best, to be able to be the best parent, the best just the best person for you, to enjoy life, to be able to, go to a movie, go hear music, and not be like staying in your house isolating. A lot of times with anxiety, avoidance is a really big part of it. I see that a lot with kids. The kids will come in and they might have a bad experience at school, and then they don't want to go to school. And so the worst thing to do is say, this worry is so big, you don't need to go to school. What parents need to do at that point is be like, what do we need to make it safe for you to go to school? I'm your mom, I'm going to protect you, I'm going to keep you safe, or I'm your dad, we're going to make sure this is okay. But I know you can do it, and have that confidence. Because when we give in to the anxiety, it makes it grow. It feeds it, it gives it more power. And then if you give into it, let's say, your kid has a tantrum. I don't want to go to school today. All right, just stay home today, take you tomorrow. Tomorrow, that tantrum is going to be twice as big. And so it's important, that, and same with adults. You have a bad day at work. Ugh, I'm just going to take a day and get it together. The next day, it's probably going to be a little bit harder to go back. So it's just important to, have awareness about, what's going on. Is this fear, the size that it should be, or is it bigger than it needs to be? And if it's bigger than it needs to be, then it's important to kind of work on that and figure out, how can I get this in check? How can I be able, to go to work, go to school, to go enjoy life, do things that are creative, and to be fully engaged.
Thanks for being with us today, Shelley. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. If you at home have anything you'd like to add, please feel free to comment below, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thanks so much for joining us.